Today was the end of modeling my enemy. I've been working very hard on making this enemy work, and I hope I can get animations done because I've run into a few problems. But before I go on about animation problems, I'm going to explain what I did. So the biggest thing that's obvious compared to last week is I've added the skeleton, of course. Though there has been a few problems where when I added the skeleton and connected to the body, the head would morph when I move like the elbow or something. So what I've had to do is I've had to separate the arms and legs into different pieces compared to the head. Because now, whenever I move the elbow, for example, it just moves the elbow piece. The other slight problem is, if you can see here, it's still kind of causes issues to the model. If I had more time to work on this, I would go ahead and work on the skeleton and body more. But of course, as seen here, there's not much detail in the body and in the arms and legs, so that would probably explain why there's a lot more issues there. Things like the head and all that, that's still okay, because if I, move this, the head and all that's still fine. The main piece that controls everything is up here with the hat, so this controls everything. And of course, the legs do the legs where they bend. They're still okay. If I overextend, of course, then there are problems. But if I just do slight movements towards the feet, then it should not be an issue. Um, the other problem came from when I wanted to try out the animations. So, when I went on to Mixamo, I wanted to use that website because other people have suggested that that could be a good website to make animations just automatically work for your model. Though there have been problems with my model. One is that whenever it came to importing, Mixamo uses an older version of an FBX format. So what I had to do was I had to save the properties of the export as an older version of Maya so that it could work. Once that was done, I ran into the next big problem finding out where to put the pieces of the body. Like, of course, it's simple where you can put down, like, oh, arms, legs, a head. But then when you add things like the groin area and all that, and once you import that, it causes issues for the model. And no matter where I place the groin area or no matter place where the head, it's always the head and groin because, the character's head is his body as well. It will always cause problems, causing the model to completely just mold its face apart. And that's not what I wanted. So doing the model on Mixamo was not a good choice, so I'm not going to use that for now. In the future, if I wanted to work on stuff a bit more, I would probably find a way to make Mixamo work, or I would just make my own animations. But as it is right now, I can't make my own animations because even looking at a tutorial for adding a skeleton proved to be a pain. Adding the different pieces, and such was just annoying. And then finally was the next big problem. I imported my model into my Unreal game, and I've tried my best to give him the animations that's already been there. But the problem is that I named my skeleton body parts differently to how Unreal normally uses theirs. Meaning, your hand is for me perhaps just called R hand for the right hand, while in Unreal it's called R underscore hand and other details. There are a few things like that, meaning I would have to change the names of every single skeleton body part to make it work. But then then there still had the problems where even if I did that, the body would still mess up in his animations trying to use the same place because, the headpiece is all the way up there in the main one while my character's head is right here. So if I were to actually name them and all that, it would make the entire body fly in the sky and his legs would go dangling all over the place. So the whole idea for that just won't work, and I'd have to make my own animations. The only problem, of course, is that with the time I have left, I won't be able to make any animations myself because I have no idea what to do with it, and finding a way to learn how to do it would probably take too much time compared to what I have left, because I still need to make the puzzle mechanic work. Other than that, I'd say that the enemy design was really great, and if I were to continue with this game in the future, or if I ever were to give an extra time to work on this, I would definitely spend a lot of time working on the enemy, because I want the enemy to work out and animate properly so that the game can be good enough. But no, other than that, I don't think there's anything else that I worked on this week besides the whole enemy. Let's remember. Look. No, other than that, yeah, I've just looked up tutorials about how to use skeletons and add them onto Maya, and yeah, no other things were done today. So what I'll be doing next time is I'll be starting work on, of course, importing this model onto Unreal again because I deleted it after doing the errors. And then I'll be working on the final models for the whole puzzle task because I need to still do the models for those. I believe I'll be working on the valve next time because that one's the quickest, easiest task I can get done, but it's also one of the harder models to make, so I'll be working on that. Anyway, that'll be all for this day.